Sorry about the late start. There were some technical difficulties, and I'm like, why is nobody coming in? And half of it looked different, so I apologize.
Oh, no worries whatsoever. I know Twitter's been bugging a little bit here the last day or so. I don't know what they're doing, but I know my spaces. I haven't been just going in and out of spaces has been wacky, and hopping up in speakers and co-host spots. I keep on losing to where I can hear stuff and not hear stuff. My Bluetooth is going
Right?
wacky. I don't know what they're doing, but they're doing some really interesting things for sure.
Yeah, like even like I look right now because it's on host, and I have like the magic wand that changes your voice if you want or whatever, and then they have this scissors and plus. I mean, I think those are your emojis. So you have the heart with the plus, and I'm like, okay, does that mean we can add stuff later? Who knows? Like, again, running spaces. This is why I'm doing this. Is important for certain people, especially if people have never hosted a space themselves. It's important that you know you have certain highlights, certain things that you need to know. Like I have like everything from like shout outs to like treating the listeners well, how long you should have a space running for, like all these different talking points, right? Recorded spaces versus not recorded spaces, like how to reset the room. There's a lot of people, and this is what I've noticed as well, in spaces, and this is a discussion that we're going to have, is you go into certain spaces and you wait how long to get up and talk. Why? Why so long? Like, like some people like to listen, and I get that as well. Although, I mean, when you're running a showcase, slash sharing or highlighting projects, you shouldn't have these people waiting so long to showcase their project and wait. I mean, there's different time zones to consider as well. It's interesting. I don't know how you like to run your spaces, but for me, I'm like, I like to vibe with people. I like to listen. I like to talk a little bit. I like to have fun, definitely. We just got to get some more people in this new link. I've had another link, and now that link had like some kind of small technical difficulties, and it's just getting through those, and then trying to find everybody to find you. Like I sent the one link out, and that one didn't work, and now it's a new link. So it's like, these are the small little challenges that I'm gonna have to get through. Like the last one, I was like, why is nobody here? I'm sitting here for like 10 minutes in silence, and that's hard for me. And my mute button didn't work, and it's like it let me tweak the room, and I'm like, what's going on? So these are the small little things. Hey Pete, what's good? So we're just gonna wait for the room to fill up a little bit. I've got Green Mamba coming in. Welcome, welcome. Always welcome in my spaces and our spaces. My space is your space. Mi casa, su casa, tu casa. I don't know. I'm sure I'm gonna get corrected at some point. Um, Although, I mean, these are the small little things. I mean, I'm trying to find out what other people like in spaces so I can help improve my spaces as well. This is important. I don't know what your opinions are on this.
No, I think you've got. Oh, jeez, my bad. Went to grab my phone and knocked it off the ledge here.
It's all
No,
good.
my bad. No, I think as far as the educational spaces, I love it. I think you touch on a good point. Is why do people wait so long and things? And I think a lot of it comes into it is I think some spaces they start off small and then they have that growth. Sometimes they see some good growth. And I think the hard part is sometimes you got that same group that's always sitting up in there talking. I know um, I'm in some spaces that they started small and they've grown into 50 to 100 people, and I think that's the hard part is you have that same group of speakers that's up in there just banging all their ideas off each other in the mornings and stuff or afternoons or whatever, and then they get running their mouths, and sometimes I think the hard part is too is depending on some of it's how this app is set up too, because when you get more than, what is it, six or eight people lined up across the top here, unless you actually like pull your screen down as a host. I don't know if you've noticed this, but sometimes if you don't pull your screen down, you can't see all the people that are in the list or that are in the speaker box. So sometimes you can't see, like if you have like your screen down too, you can't see if someone has their hand up. So I don't know. There's definitely, I think there's different reasoning for it. But no, I think that that it definitely is something that we're just gonna see space. Like I don't know. I think that's one thing. Like some spaces are huge and require more of that hand raised, whatever, and then some spaces they just never really have that, and they're more of a free for all. So I don't know. I think part of that is too is like maybe that's where it's going to be the responsibility of the host. You know, do they need to kind of, that's where they set the room. You know, so yeah, I think there's just a lot of learning here because this is kind of that first little Web3 experience is kind of how I look at it. You know, we may not be in the metaverse per se looking at each other, but we're all sitting here in the same room talking, you know?
Yeah, I fully agree. Hey, Wagdi, how's it going? Welcome, as always. So yeah, hey, Visual, what's good?
What up? How you guys doing?
I think we're pretty good considering my second link got botched and, just making the best of this situation. Waiting for the room to fill up a little bit on my third attempt. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened. So, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It's just kind of like, again, when you're running a space and all these small little challenges, like my first space, what happened to the first link? Oh, yeah, I don't know. I just honestly don't know. I created the link. Everything was fine. I go into the space. I started. And my mute button I noticed wasn't muting. So I was like, oh, okay. And then I'm communicating with Visual saying, hey, what's up? Are you going to come in? And he's like, I can't find your space. I'm like, that's probably why nobody's in here. So let's, I guess I have to create a new link, right? So these are the small little things. I had another little situation earlier where I had an earlier space and I had to redo the link. So that was another fun challenge, but we get through it, right? Like these are the small little things that when you conduct spaces that you just have to really try to say, hey, you know what, you've invited all these listeners. I feel like I have a responsibility to make sure that we run a good space because I value everybody's time and I really appreciate when people come in and that gratitude is shared by them sharing, the room, the information that they have to, give back to everybody. And I think by sharing stories is key, especially in Web3 right now. And, if you're even thinking about running spaces or hosting a space, this is like, I find, really, really big. And also we're having a giveaway from the talk. So this is great. And that is an NFT project that had an earlier space that we were promoting and, just having some fun, which is key. I see a new person here. I don't want to mess it up. Kriya TIF, Tiff. Welcome to the space. I'm seeing some graffiti, so I'm already digging that. Like, ooh. I want to see if you want to come up and talk. I have a couple questions for you already. I'm like semi-trolling you already. I'm gonna hit you the follow just because I love your banner already. And let's see. And you're already following like I see Web3, so that's awesome. Let's go. Yeah. So what's everybody up to tonight besides being in this space?
Oh man, I just had a beach day. We're getting ready to head back towards the mountains, so we're not gonna see the beaches for a while. So we took the day and went and sat by the water and went and had some seafood. So it was nice, man.
Nice.
Finally got down to the beach. I haven't been there in a while, so we needed that.
Which beach did you go to and in which city? Sorry.
Yeah. So we're in South Carolina right now. So we went to Charleston, down to Folly Beach. It's a little, it's not a big beach. They're it's kind of nice. It's like it's growing though. So I've been going there for probably 15, 20 years now. And you used to not have to pay for parking, and you used to be able to just like go pull up and walk to the beach. And now it's becoming more commercialized. So you have to, it's like 10, $20 for parking now. And you have to, there's a bunch of people out there, so it's different, but it's still a nice place to go. And it still has like the nice little strip with the good, good eating and cool little shops and all that. So little mom and pop shops, and it's fun to go to. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, I believe in supporting small businesses, definitely. The internet is good and bad at the same time, right? So, I mean, it brings attention to your beach or your little safe haven or your little spot, and then, it's good and bad. It's good, but then bad because sometimes there's people that leave trash and all that other stuff. Again, that you were saying, like the cost of parking and all that other good stuff. So, yeah. But family first, like, you know what, I think that's a key thing as well, is that balance between family, what we're trying to do, um, and sleep. That's the important one. That I find that sometimes we forget, that sleep and keeping hydrated and eating and actually getting some fresh air is actually good, and taking a break from your computer and everything else like that is amazing. So I see that Visual shared something. Would you like to share what you just pinned up? I just noticed something pop up there. Visual.
Yeah. No, I was just sharing my space for tomorrow. That's it. Nothing big. I don't want to take away from what we're doing
No,
here right
talk
now,
about it.
but
This is the whole point of spaces.
for sure. Yeah, I got a space tomorrow with a couple of homies. We're gonna be talking about some technical things. That's definitely one of my biggest challenges in Web3 is a lot of the technical things that go on behind the scenes, like smart contracts and developing the minting sites and all those type of things that I've had definitely questions about, and I've been able to obviously learn about it over the last few months. And I just wanted to bring on some people that could definitely answer those questions better for anybody that might have those questions. I think even from a collector's perspective, it's important to be informed about that stuff. So I have Metaverse Josh, who's going to be speaking. He's got some really cool stuff that he's working on. I'm not sure exactly what he'll be able to share because it's stuff that's not really public right now and that he's got some big plans for. But hopefully he could talk about his projects and then definitely answer questions for people. And then also we got Pac-Man, who's got a couple things going on, even an NFT project that he's involved in, and he's going to be helping out as well. He's been in the tech space way before NFTs. And then probably my favorite person to have on is going to be my friend William, who's an 11-year-old kid who's a coder, developer, and artist that created a sold-out project. And he's going to be super excited to be on because he's always excited to talk about anything tech and NFTs. So I'm happy to have him on. I'm definitely excited to have those three guys talking about all the tech stuff and just see what comes up in the conversation. So I'm hoping people come out and hang out with us and join the conversation.
Visual. Is this the same William in Thailand? Because if it is, I'm slightly jealous, because he's awesome. And yeah, that's a great lineup. Like,
That's
honestly,
my buddy.
William is branding himself.
He's a
He's
beast.
so humble and he's so sweet, and like, wow, like
Yeah.
great. Like, he's still new in a way, running like a space, and like he's trying. And I was in a space and I was trying to conjure up people and get them in and strike up the conversation with them, because he felt a little awkward, in that sense, where he wasn't like generating the conversations. So these are a couple some things that I really want to talk about today. Mainly is when running a space, the timing of your space, where do you guys, and I want everybody to chirp in, so just put your hand up and say what your opinions are, how long you spend in a space, Do giveaways matter to you? We do have a talks giveaway to anybody who is not holding a talk. This is important because we want the talks to get into holders. I'm not saying that if you have a talk, you're not going to get a talk. Although, I mean, we are part of the talks community, and it is this very strong community, fun community, wild community. Um, if you need some wildness and fun in your life, definitely grab a talk, buy the talk. Just kidding. But all around, we have to respect the spaces and time zones as well. This is definitely a big thing to consider. Rebuild how to build your space and who you bring in, how you share your space. These are, just things that over time you'll gradually get it, but you'll learn your sauce. You'll learn the secrets to your sauce, but all around it can be a little challenging starting at first. So visual, how is it that you like to build your spaces up?
Yeah, no, that's a good question, and just to go back to the point that you made, you mentioned William, and I think that he's kind of a good person to bring up because he kind of just jumped into hosting his own spaces. I want to say maybe like 2 months ago. It was a little bit after I did the interview with him for the podcast, and I've been in spaces with him, and he honestly he struggles a lot. He struggles a lot. And there's been times where he's had people that are just trolling the room and things like that, and he kind of doesn't know how to react to it. And it's just interesting that he's a really smart kid. He's like I said, he's got a sold out project. He developed it himself, coded everything, and created the artwork for it. But when you're running a space, it's just a whole different world. It's a different skill set, and I think you got to be very aware. And that's definitely one thing that I definitely take into consideration is the awareness of the room. Like something real simple, like Jameson right now raising his hand. Like you gotta notice those things like immediately. Like, so when you're in the middle of speaking, especially if you're the host, you're in the middle of speaking, like you got to realize like, okay, Jameson's got his hand up. So once I'm done with my thought here, I gotta, do the right thing and go over to him next. Or there might be somebody else that has their hand up in the room, or there might be people that are requesting as speakers, and it gets a little challenging sometimes because you're in the middle of a thought, you're answering a question, or you're kind of going with the flow of the conversation, and you got to pay attention to, who has an idea, who wants to pop in, who's coming up as a speaker, who has something to say, and at the same time, you're kind of thinking of what you want to bring up as a topic, or what question you want to pose to people listening in, depending on how you run your space. So those are all the things that I definitely consider. And to me, Bullish especially, I think you've noticed that, I like to run my spaces a certain way. So I'm a little bit more like, I guess you could say, structured, kind of like an interview type style when I have certain type of guest on. And then of course, there's ones that I like to have where people are kind of just hanging out and it's kind of like a free form and we're having a lot of discussion. But for the most part, I like to have it well structured. I like to have questions set already that I'm going to ask my guests, because what I think is what I want, when I run my space, is I like to focus on the value that we're giving to everybody listening. So I want to ask questions that I think are important and get a conversation going. Let the person that I'm kind of, quote unquote interviewing, I guess you could say in a sense, answer those questions and get that information out. And I think from that brings up a conversation later on. And then that's when I like to bring my speakers up, and then everybody could either add into the conversation or ask a question. And that's pretty much how I like to run my spaces. And that's my format. That's my approach. But what's up, Jameson?
Yeah, man. No, Bullish, if you got something to say, go ahead first, because I'll ramble for a minute.
No, ramble. I just put my hand up because, again, I wanted to show that, that's what we should be doing sometimes in most of the spaces, especially when you're not sure when the gap is to jump in, or there's a rug and then you can jump in. Just kidding. A rug is like that little gap where there's a problem in the system. But yeah, go ahead, and I'm curious to find out what you want to input.
No, I think I threw my hand up there just to see, because he's talking, and throw it up real quick, just to see how well people pay attention, because I think people do, like we get talking, we get distracted. I know me personally, like I speak in a lot of spaces, but I've just now recently started doing more co-hosting, and I haven't hosted much, to be honest, but I have been wanting. I know that there's been a lack of educational spaces, so that's been my goal, is to do some more educational spaces, in on the basics, like onboarding people, like teaching them how to set up a DeFi wallet, what it means to write your keys down and put them on a piece of paper and hide them away so that no one knows, like not to give them, like, because people don't understand that. And I think a lot of us that have been here more than, a few weeks, we miss that, and so like that's what I want to start focusing on. But that's part of the reason, that I haven't just straight up started hosting spaces, is because I've wanted to get a feel of how people do their different spaces and how I wanted to do mine. And like Bullish, you came into a space that I happened to be co-hosting this morning with some of my friends, and it got a little spicy because there's some people. I think a lot of it comes down to, some of us have, I guess all of us have been in different situations in life, which gives us different types of communication skills. And some of us are more business oriented or professional. And I think that we bring that into these spaces, and some people have just never been in that realm in their life. So like this morning, like we just had someone jump up and they just started like rambling off a bunch of stuff and yelling and like calling people out, and like missed this small portion of what was going on, and like jumped to an assumption. And like he just started, like he took over the whole room, and nothing against the guy, he was trying to defend one of his friends, but like it was one of those where the room got fired up. I muted everyone. I'm like, all right, we're gonna reset this, knock this off, like this isn't what vibe we're going for. And then he goes at it again, so I mute everyone, kick him out of the room, and I'm like, all right, listen, orange, like there's no 3 strikes, you're out here, 2 times you're out, sorry. And like one of my buddies then messaged me that it was his space, and he's like, well, why'd you kick him? Like, I feel bad because sometimes people kick him, because I'm like, well, because his delivery sucks. I don't mean anything against the guy, but like sometimes we need to work on communication skills and then come back, or work on something and come back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's part of life. You're not good at something, you got to work on it to become better at it. Then so like go. You learned your lesson. Don't act like that. Act different. Now, like I like to think of it like, and one of my buddies was saying something to me. I'm like, well, I like to think of a space though as like, this is my space. Like, you're coming over to my space to hang out, my house. Like you come in my house and disrespect me, I'm gonna grab you by the ear, drag you outside, throw you out, be like, listen, if you want to be respectful, you can come back inside. But if you're gonna be disrespectful and yell at people, you can't be here. Like, sorry, but go ahead, Visual.
Yeah, no, man, I just wanted to, go ahead and have you finish off. So yeah, I appreciate you popping in and letting me know to come in, man. No, I just wanted to go off what you said about communication pretty much. And I think the way you handled it, honestly, is the best way to handle it. I've definitely been in that situation where I've had to kick people out, mute the whole room, kind of see if it's going to happen again. And then it happens again. And then you got to kick people out because, like you said, you don't want that type of vibe, that type of environment. And something, especially like you said, you're trying to focus on something educational. And I really feel like that's my mindset when I'm holding a space. I really want, because I'm conscious that there's people listening. I don't care if there's 2 people listening or there's 200 people listening. I'm going to move the same exact way, and I think I have to respect the fact that people are actually listening to me and they're looking for value. So I want to make sure that I'm there giving them that. And then to go back off communication, man, I think just in general, like, you said we've all been in different situations in life, and that's why, it has brought us to the way we kind of move around and present ourselves. But one thing, man, that I've realized that, no matter what that way has been throughout our lives, it can never be an excuse for how you present yourself and how you communicate, because how you communicate is essentially how people are going to truly see you, no matter what you think of yourself and no matter what you actually have accomplished. Like, you could be a millionaire, or you could be, the most successful person in the world for whatever way you see success as. But if you're not communicating your ways, what you want to think, what you want to say, how you want to present yourself properly, then nobody's going to really respect that. And that's 100% a fact, because I could be like, somebody who's, super broke and I'm miseducated, and I could just have the most excellent communication, and you're just going to look at me a whole different way and you would not assume that, you know, I'm in the situation I'm in, no matter what it would be. And I think that's just a fact. And then you could be somebody who's, you know, got a ton of money, has all this success, has written books and all this, and you talk like crap and treat people like crap, and everybody's going to look at you that way, you know. And I think that's why it's so important to communicate properly, because even if you don't have everything you're trying to get, if you communicate properly, it's going to take you to places that you've never been to. And that's 100% a fact.
Okay, Visual, I'm popping in right on this one. Again, Marcus is here, and we've got, Notorious from the Mad Rabbits Riot. So here's the thing, and we have Barkles. So here's the thing. I actually was in a space just recently, and I don't know if it's because I'm a female. I don't know the reasoning, if it's because he came at me pretty aggressive, and I'm like, listen, when you come into a space, it should be in a respectful manner. Your tone is very important, and when your tone changes ever so slightly, and people know when there's a little bit of an aggressive change in a tone, or how they say something, or they're using certain verbiage and wordage, or wordage is not even a word, sorry, you know, like, again, how you handle certain things, like, is very key. I choose to try to take the high road, again, but I will not stand for people being disrespected, and that goes for myself. And that's another thing, is sometimes you have to take yourself out of the situation, or you can direct message somebody and say, hey, you know what, this is a scenario. I'm not sure if this is, you know, if it's a host throwing it and you have a problem with somebody else, a speaker, you can throw them a DM saying, hey, this is a situation, or can we change the topic, or, you know, I have to go because I feel this, that, and the other thing. So again, as Visual was saying, back to communication, it's very important, because again, we also have to respect our listeners, and they come here for a reason. They, you know, they want to learn something. Like, you know, these are the key things that we really, really have to, again, respect. I think that's a key word in this. Be positive and neutral as well. Even if things turn, you have to be able to maneuver. Okay, this is the key thing. I'll say that. So I wrote down a couple of things. I said the do's: be respectful, honest, and let everyone know. Let everyone know. Speaking once, you know. Sorry, give me a second. Basically, set the tone. Like, this is a respectful space, honest. We're here to learn, not be rude. And then the don'ts is like, don't be rude, don't cut people off, especially. Give you an example. I'm sure you've all been in a space just like, you're talking and you're like, hey, I got a project. I want to tell you all about my project, and you know, it's important for me to let you know. And they're only talking about their project. They're not saying, hey, thank you for having me here. Be graceful, you know, respect the host as well. It's like when you go to somebody's house, like, don't be rude. Again, know where your mute button is. If you're hosting a space, you can mute the whole room. You can, if things get heated, just mute the whole room, reset the room. Hopefully there's not a problem. And if you need to boot somebody out, then that's what you have to do. Because I was in a space, unfortunately it was William's space, and somebody thought they were trying to get smart and be really rude, and I had to come in and a lot of us were, and I kind of just made a weird noise to muffle whatever this dude was trying to say until we could. And good thing he had a co-host, and co-host is key in this as well, because your co-host is your backup. So you are doing your job, but a backup, let's just say you go to the washroom and something happens, your co-host is there to make sure that everything is in line in the way it's supposed to run as well. And Visual and I are great together. We're like peanut butter and jelly. I don't know what the Chicago way would be, like a warm jacket in windy weather. I don't know. You want to go with that one? Just kidding. Visual, what's up?
He said peanut butter and jelly. I love it. I love it. I just wanted to go off, what you were saying about respect. I think that's definitely important, and also tone. When you mentioned tone, it made me think of just everything I've ever learned about like public speaking. I've been on tons of stages, whether it's been as an artist or as a speaker, or as a panelist or moderating a panel or whatever it may be. Like being in front of people, I've been doing it for a very long time. And one thing I learned is that tone is definitely very important because you have to be clear. You have to be able to speak in a way where it doesn't seem, aggressive or threatening. And people need to feel comfortable around you when you're speaking. And one thing that people I really don't think realize is that when you're in a space, all they're getting from you is your voice. That's all everybody's getting. So you have to be very conscious and mindful of that, because it's important when you're on a stage in front of people, or even if you're even in a video speaking. So imagine something like a Twitter space where all they're getting is audio. All they're hearing is your voice. Somebody could walk into this room right now, and I say walk, right? Like they're not literally walking in here, but somebody could come into this room and I'm in the middle of my thought. They have no idea what's going on. And the first thing they're going to get is my voice and the tone and how I'm speaking and the words I'm using. So that's extremely important. And I think, a lot of times that's why, like, I go back to what when I was asked about how I like to run my rooms, that's why I like to run my rooms that way, because I feel if somebody comes in, it's, a lot of times we'll have spaces where it's like just the homies and we're just hanging out and we're being silly and we're telling jokes and everybody's just laughing. It's like a shit show basically, right? Which is hilarious, but we have a blast. And if people come into that room and they don't know what's going on, and I see it all the time, they just leave. And it's cool. It's okay. Like I'm personally okay with that, because it's gonna happen, because I do the same thing when I go into rooms and people are just laughing and it's just a whole mess. But I feel like when you're doing a certain space, especially like let's say something like this that's educational, like tone is very important, format is very important, order is very important, having control of the room is very important. So I just definitely wanted to point that out, and that's something that I think is a major key.
No, and I agree with that 100%, because I know, so I attend some regular spaces, and like I said earlier, I think some of them start off small and then grow. Like there's a space that I go to every morning, Coffee and Crow, and dude, we'll have anywhere from usually 50 to 100 people in there every day, and it's just a bunch of people sitting around drinking coffee, shooting the shit, talking about DeFi, talking about NFTs, talking about what they're doing, that like what's going on. And yeah, to some people, that there's a lot of people that come and go, but it is funny though, because there's, as people stop and listen, after a little while, it's crazy how weekly someone will stop in and then like hop up into the speaker's box and be like, hey, I just want you guys to know I've been listening for like a few days or like a week or something now, and you guys, I've learned a lot in here. I really appreciate what you guys are doing. I know, because that's where they do get a little bit of shame, because sometimes people's hands don't get, answered very fast. People are sitting there talking over each other sometimes, but it's a bunch of like the people that all like, it started with like 10, 20, 30 people, so you got those 10, 20, 30 that are the main ones in there, and they all talk over each other anyways, because they're like a bunch of homies. If they were all sitting in a room, just hanging out, drinking coffee together, so I think that's where, like you said, Visual, there is a balance there. It depends on that vibe though too, like the educational spaces and things like that. Yeah, you got to keep those very, I think, on the more professional side of that. But I think those other spaces are good too, because like this is what the future is of Web3, and the creativity behind it, and the right now we're all talking, but it is one of those where we need, there's a lot of community that's been lost over the last few years, via the thing that spread around the world these last couple of years, and putting us all in our homes, and people have lost some communication skills, so I think this is a good way for people to be able to still talk with people and also meet a lot of people. I've made so many awesome connections and friends all around the world, like the people that I talk to the most now are in like the UK, Australia, you know, the other side of the country, California. You know, like it's just silly. You know, people that I never would have talked to, but I talk to them more than people I live in the same town with. You know, so I think it is. It's a cool balance, but I think it just depends on what kind of space are you trying to put out there, and what kind of vibe are you trying to attract.
Yeah, I agree, dude. And you know what's something that really stood out to me right now that you mentioned is that, people are paying attention basically, because one thing that you gotta realize is that we might not notice like who's watching or who's listening, whether we're in a space or, I mean, and you gotta look at it like anything, right? It's like you're on Twitter, your tweets, like whatever it may be. Like there's times where I'm like, oh, I see some people unfollowed me, and it's like whatever, maybe I said something that they weren't following me for that reason, but then I think like, hey, I'm a human being, like I'm not gonna just be like one way that you're thinking. Like I might be in a funny mood, I might be saying some crazy shit, like I don't know, it really depends, right? But I think at the end of the day, people are paying attention, and the right people are paying attention, because there's times where like people will contact me and I'm like, because you were talking about, oh yeah, somebody's been listening to your space for a while or whatever, hey, we've been listening for a few weeks, whatever, and people reach out, and that's definitely happened. People that I didn't even know were in my room sometimes, and they're listening to either the topics I'm bringing up or how I'm speaking or who I have in my spaces and things like that. So I think that's really important. And like I said earlier, whether it's 2 people in my room or 200 people in my room or 2,000, whatever it may be, like I'm pretty much going to carry myself the same way. And I think that's something that you just really got to be conscious about, especially as you're hosting a room, and you want to bring that value to people and make sure you're conscious and respecting the time that they're giving you as well as we're giving people time. So I think it just has to be mutual.
Nope, I definitely agree 110% on that, man. And I think that we're just gonna and this is so new again too, because we're re-onboarding and re-bringing people over to Twitter now. Like this is gonna be a whole new phase. This whole Elon Musk bringing all this like him buying everything up, or even if something goes haywire, it's Twitter. I don't know. Maybe I think all of us in here can agree we're bullish on Twitter, right? So it is. It's going to continue to grow. We're going to continue to have some of these issues though as well, bullish, like you were talking about. Like we're going to have some tech issues where we're going to have some link issues where you might not pop up and stuff. Um, and that's all things where file some tickets. Let the techs know. Let the people know where are we seeing issues, what's going on, so that we can be on the forefront of this, because the nice thing that I've noticed about Web3, that's a beautiful, beautiful thing, is we get to help shape it. We get to talk to the devs. We get to get in with these people. Like I'm glad that I came in here, because I've been putting out hard vibrations looking for Web3 people visuals. So like to come into this space and then you pin that tweet up on the top, that's just those vibrations coming back to me too. So I think that we got to look at like from a like that aspect of life too. People are putting out vibrations, we're putting out vibrations, and we attract what the people that we're looking for. And that's why I've met so many cool people. That's why I'm in this space too, because I have a feeling there's like-minded people here, and so I think it's great, so yeah, awesome stuff. Like, and people leaving our spaces isn't a bad thing too, right? Like some people will come and go, and that's all right, because there's some people that are going to come and stay. So, and those are the ones that we want around, because hopefully those are the vibes we're trying to bring. So anyways, go ahead, Bullish.
So I want to say definitely great feedback on that, and I want to welcome everybody to the room. Yes, it is a little small at the moment, but I would like you to please click the blue plus on the bottom right, retweet the room, because I did have a technical difficulty. I have been trying to hit people up in the DMs again, sending them new links. Again, as a host, as running a space, you want to share it. Maybe not everybody's getting your new tweet right away, so it's kind of like, you got to do your due diligence in the background. I think we covered put up your hand to speak, be respectful, don't be rude. Any rudeness, if you, I know sometimes people get offended easily, although if something is directly to somebody, um, you know, hit the host up in the DMs. Treat people how you like to be treated. This is a big thing, and I think that's what's lacking now a little bit nowadays in general. It's all about me. It's all about me. No, it's not. It's about everybody. We grow together. We rise together. We learn together. And I think if we stay with this type of concept, it's very important. I put recording spaces. There's pros and cons to this. For me, the pros is like you can play back a certain snippet if you miss something. If you came in, sorry, my apologies, near the end of a space, oh, you're like, oh, but I really enjoyed that space. I want more of it. You know what? Go play it near the beginning. I like recorded spaces. Reason why, and I'll give you one example, is I listen to Wake and Bake because I go to work and it starts at 11. I only get about 20 to 25 minutes of that space. But after, when I'm done my work day, when I'm trying to relax, I go listen to that space and I enjoy it almost. The only thing that I'm trying to do is hit that emoji button and I can't because it's a recorded space. There is a small little thing that I've noticed with recorded spaces as well, is you don't actually see the full lineup of everybody who's actually in that space. And I personally don't love that myself, because if somebody is talking and I love what they're saying, I want to know who's talking. Go look at their profile. Who knows? Maybe it would be like, I want to network with that person. And I will also say spaces are great. Same thing. You're getting information, you're seeing new projects, and getting the information like I see Web3 is amazing for the simple fact that we're just trying to get out there and educate everybody. And this is a promotion, yes, for IC Web3. We have YouTube videos, interviews, educational spaces as well is what we're trying to do right now. We have a great team, and I'm sure it's going to be growing shortly as well as we continue. Tomorrow night space, Ask a Dev. I mean, like, these are the next things if you're trying to, get involved. Where do you find a dev? I don't know. Is there yellow pages for that? So these are the small little things that are important that we need to start to understand, especially when people want to start minting their own projects or create a game, or they have these fabulous great ideas but they just don't know where to start. Well, you know what, it's time to ask some people that you know ask Visual, ask Pete, ask Bullish. Maybe they might know somebody who might know somebody, right? As the space is going to grow rapidly, the devs are going to be lined up. So now it's going to be looking at, do I have to become a dev myself? I'm just kidding. I will not become a dev. I don't think they'd let me in, but I would have to go to school for like 6 years for that. Just saying. You'll call me Dr. Dev. So yeah, we touched on a couple of things and the cons about recording. Some people are very private. Some people, I think it's a deterrent in a way, from people doing nonsensical stuff. But maybe some people will try to go, okay, great, this is a recorded space. Now I can say whatever I want. And then maybe they get off on hearing them play back what they just did and they're proud of themselves. We have some people that are like that, unfortunately. So again, I think just kind of knowing who is in your room, and also try to vet and see what the person's profile looks like when you're bringing them up. Don't judge them on the followers, because there's some people just getting into it, and people who haven't used their Twitter accounts for like 6 and 10 years are reconnecting with their Twitter accounts. So like, this is not a race on who has the most amount of followers. I firmly believe quality over quantity, 100%. But that's just how I maneuver, because I'm an old school person. I'm not into the IG and the TikToks and everything else like that. Like, I have to be popular. No. So I'm gonna stop talking because I see 2 hands up, or they're trying to swat a fly or something. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna find out. Visual, what's good?
I just wanted to add in that, that's, like you weren't rambling. First of all, it's all good. You know how it gets when we get wrapped in our thoughts. But I wanted to add in that, yeah, it's, especially since we're talking about spaces and kind of like a etiquette do's and don'ts, I think it's important to know to have like an agenda, right? To have an agenda, to have a plan, whether it's your guest, whether it's what you're going to be speaking about, because a lot of times, especially any of us that have been part of either, a corporate world, or even like if we're entrepreneurs and we've had meetings with our teams, there's a lot of times where there might be that those moments where you're just like, yo, this could have definitely been an email, or this could have definitely been a quick message. Like this is taking longer than it needs to. And that's why I think it's important to have that agenda, have that structure, know who your guests are going to be. Like all those things need to be in place, and in order to have a successful space, right? You might want to have a space that, like I said earlier, and Jameson was saying the same thing, where you're just hanging out with the homies. And those are fine. Those are great, because I think those are needed. And I think it also kind of helps with the community you're building, or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, because if people pop in, they might really rock with that. They might really be like, hey, these people are just hanging out. This is their vibe. This is who they are. These are their friends, whatever it may be. And so I think those are definitely very important. But on the flip side, if you're looking to be more educational, informative, if you're talking about your project, or like a space like this, or like mine that I'm gonna hold tomorrow, and the ones that I typically like to hold, they're more based on education. So I feel like it's very important for me as the host to move along in a certain way, and to be very aware and conscious of things going on in the room. Like I mentioned earlier, somebody having their hand up, somebody coming up to speak, and just the flow of the conversation, and making sure that things go, a certain way, a certain pace. I think it's extremely important to do that. Jameson, what's up?
No, I love all of those points, and just want to touch on them and just say that I think the flow of the room is huge. I think especially like Bullish, you said before, oh, there's not a lot of people in here. But the nice thing about a recorded space is there's enough people in here to be able to be like, man, that was a great space, and it was recorded, go back and listen to it. And visual, like what you said, your space tomorrow tomorrow, right? Sounds like
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, good. So like sounds like that space, if it's recorded, that's a space that's even worthy of, like, a lot of these spaces we miss are worthy of taking that recording, putting that joker on YouTube and saving it forever, not just the 30 days that Twitter does. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing
100%.
about that is these educational spaces, like, we might only reach 5 to 10 people on this space today. It might only reach 20 people. It might only reach 100 people. Like, it depends on how big your mind is thinking, right? But if you take this awesome recording with all this sweet alpha and how to do these amazing things, and you cut that up, throw it into a YouTube video, and then save it forever, and put that video out there on this is what you do. Okay, now what if that video reaches 100,000 people or 1 million people that are coming into these Twitter spaces and need to know the do's and don'ts of how to hold a Twitter space, So I think that's the big thing, that sometimes we don't want to sell ourselves short, because we are early on a lot of things in this Twitter spaces, Web3, NFTs, whatever you want to talk about, So like, I think that when we look at what we're all communicating on, there's a lot of this that is very, very worthy of taking those recordings, putting them on YouTube, because this is stuff that, like, is going to be able to be stuff that'll be used. It might not be forever, because technology is moving fast, but even if it's for 3 to 6 months or 3 to 6 weeks, it might help a lot of people in that amount of time, because you can be like, yo, you need to go look at this link, drop it to them, and they've got that video to listen to.
Yeah, I agree, dude. And that's exactly why, what we're doing, personally, like our brand, IC Web3, that's exactly why we're moving the way that we're moving. And, when you mentioned something like YouTube, I think to me, that was one of the first things that was just kind of obvious to me when I got into Web3. I was like, I'm going to document everything that I'm doing. I'm going to let people know how I'm kind of moving, and walk people through my journey in Web3 as I'm kind of learning. And then transition that into, once I've learned, or I've gathered enough people that are able to teach me and teach others while I'm learning, I'm going to document that and make sure that that's preserved and archived, whether it's YouTube, podcasts, and everything else that we're doing. Because to me, that's very important. And you know, obviously my experience as an artist, as an entrepreneur, as a community builder, educator, all those things, it was just an easy transition to say, hey, this is important to be able to do. And that's, you know, it goes along to the spaces. That's why I think it's important to have that structure, to have that foundation, to have that agenda. And it goes the same thing as spaces go, is, you know, just if you're going to create a space, it goes right along with it, with your branding and your marketing and whatever it is that you're doing with your, you know, whether you're individually branding yourself or you're branding a company, you're branding you know, a podcast, a show, whatever it is. Like, I think you got to kind of put those two and two together, and archiving the education is extremely important. So yeah, that's a great point.
All right, Bullish is coming in. So, number one, thank you to everybody that came out. So I have a couple of people from the Layback Llamas. If I can get everybody to retweet the room, we got Kels in here. We're going to be doing the TikToks giveaway in 2 seconds or so. So I want to just kind of give an opportunity to grab a couple of your friends up in here, maybe even tag them, hey, come on in. Even if they come in just for like a couple minutes to try to get this NFT, why not bring them in? We want people to know about the talks. Besides you saying it, we want people actually seeing it and saying it. Okay, talks are in your mouth. We want you to not unsee these talks. So I have a couple pinned up, and what we're gonna do once you've shared the room, or even tagged a couple of your friends, you're going to choose a picture of the talks, and you're going to create a voice for the talks, what it would say. I have 2 talks to give away and a couple of IC Web3 NFTs. So that's a handful of NFTs for free. Okay. So what I want you to do is just retweet the room. We're going to wait a minute or two. Grab a couple more people up in here. I see Popping Penguins up in here. Welcome, welcome. We've got a couple people still. We got Big Jeffy here as well. You know what? I really appreciate you guys. I will say the Layback Llamas, and I can drop them because it's my space, our space. If you're not familiar with them, amazing. I mean, like, amazing community. And I think that's also another thing is, besides who you build up in your spaces, it's important to shout out people like Dedos, who has always, almost 90% of the time I send him something, he's always in here. I
What
shout him
up,
all the
Deathos?
time. And by the way, I would like a custom, just FYI. We'll work something out, and
No, he doesn't
I'm
have
gonna
time
pay
for
you
that.
for it. He will, because I need a bullish fish on my hand, like with the grill, like, you know, the gold knuckles, not even brass knuckles, but I mean, like, we gotta work something out. I need a custom, because, you know, I love customs. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Popping Penguins. Anybody who has, I saw another project, and I have a question. So if you can come up and speak, on it, Dan Rose. If you can come up. I don't know if you're from Chicago either, but I retweeted your top
Yes,
pinned
he
tweet,
is from
because
Chicago.
that is some wild stuff. I'm enjoying the art. It's kind of wild like me, but then you definitely should buy it if it's wild like me. Just kidding. I'm only kidding. But yeah, you know what? I love great art. Jameson, what's good? I see your hand up and I see it down, but speak.
Yeah, no, I was I didn't want to interrupt you, but or change your room here. But now that we're on a little bit of NFTs talk, I saw the llamas down here, a couple different ones, and I hadn't seen this project until recently because I'm over on Kronos and CDC, and they're over on that chain right now. Well, I guess not on the Kronos chain, but on CDC's platform, getting ready to launch Bull Run NFT. So I was actually overlooking at some of the llamas the other day, and I want to scoop a couple up, but I got to save some to mint the Bull Run. But no, I definitely I've heard some really good things about that community, and I don't know if anyone is over on CDC too, crypto.com. That's one of our little. Everyone over there calls it CDC because you got CDC and Kronos, because you got the CDC is more of the centralized side, and then Kronos is your decentralized DeFi app, all that. So they've kind of separated the two of them, and they have two different blockchains that they're running. But yeah, no, definitely those llamas. I've heard good things, and if you guys are on crypto.com and want to get into those llamas or get a chance to try to like mint into the community, I think they're sharing some land, and Bull Run NFT, that mint is I think in like the next couple of days. I can look up the actual mint date, but it's only $200.
Interesting. So the layback llamas is also coming out with the female llamas, the lady llamas, I believe in May. I don't know if they firmed up the date yet. But honestly, this project is going to be fire. Like they're already talking about TV deals and all this other good stuff. So, we're not just totally talking about the layback llamas. There's great projects. Like I have Popping Penguins. He's from the Philippines. I had the honor to buy his very first NFT. So I'm a big supporter of all projects in general. So, I mean, if you have a project that needs a little bit of love and support and tender love and care, let me take a look at it, and I can see what I can try to do to help and support. That's what I try to do, is help everybody as much as I can with the time that I have. If you need feedback, definitely there for you. So I'm seeing the room fill up. So let's just put anybody who wants to try to win or is going to win a talk, except for visual, please please put your request in. And what you're going to do, that's all we ask for you, is to show off your talk when you get it. Show the love, pin tweet it or whatever you want to do. But expose your talk everywhere. We want people talking about the talks. They're a great project. If you haven't checked them out, definitely check them out. So what you're going to do is you're going to choose a picture from the top. The talks are the wild NFT pictures, and you're going to create a voice for this talk. I have 2 to give away and a couple of IC Web3 NFTs as well. But we're playing for the talks right now, and the judges will DM me, and they know who they are. And it can be funny, it can be serious, it could be just an impersonation voice. And let's go. Visual, you want to start it though, because I know you love this. Don't try to put me first, 'cause
I really think you should start it, Bullish. I think
what you're up to.
I really, really, really think that you should start. What you let us hear the impression of your talk that you have as your profile picture right now, so that everybody listening could get an idea of what we're looking for them to do in order to be considered to win this talk.
Definitely. You know what? I love this idea, visual, because you know what? This is one of my favorite talks. So, yeah. Okay, so. Okay, this is hard because you have to go into character, and I'm like, okay, so, and it's a recorded space, so I know he's gonna make a video out of this. All right, so I'm ready for this. So yeah, you think you like my tracksuit? Yeah, I got a good deal for it. You like it's not 3 stripes, nah. That costs too much money. You think I got that money? Nah, I don't got that much money like that. You got that much money like that? Oh no, this is like a 1 stripe plus 4 stripes. This is a 5 striper, baby. Yeah, you get the extra 2 stripes. Yeah, come on, you want it? Go. You want to rock this suit too? I'll even sell it to you off my body. Yeah, give me $5. It's yours. All my DNA sweat is all up on that. You want all of this, all this talk.
Oh my God, Bullish. Yo, that's hilarious. Oh my God, yes. So you guys here, that's basically what we're looking. So if you got what it takes to do that, then hey, you get a chance to win a talk, because we're trying to have some fun with it, and we gotta have some fun, because if you guys know anything about the talks, it's kind of a wild project. Bullish, myself, the homie Pete, a few people that we rock with are are big on the talks, and I you know we there's just so many elements about the not only the project but the founders, the creator, the people on the team, their community. We love it. We're a big part of it, and let's have some fun, y'all. I know somebody got something out there. What's good, Jameson? I think Jameson wants to jump in. I think Jameson got a voice.
And so does Rep One.
Rep
man.
One.
I like this project, bro. So I was wondering what these guys were when you put them up here. So when I pulled up this page, there's this I guess you'd call it, with all the, I don't know the picture with all the talks on there. That dude on the front,
Claymations.
The claymate. Oh, these are clay, dude. Even cooler.
Yes, so they're all clay.
Yeah.
They're all handmade, dude. Like it's amazing.
Dude, oh man, I love this project even more. Okay, so I've got this dude right in the front with his single, like the Cyclops eye. This guy's speaking to me. So homie, I've been in the blockchain for a long time. Got my teeth grinding. Been here so long, I had to move my cross from my neck up to my ear because all of these blockchains are melting my faces. Yeah, this guy, he's cheeking, dude. He's got, like, I love him. I like these other guys too with the glasses, but I just look at him and he's just like, this dude is so hardcore. Like, all these other guys are hanging out, but this dude's been in the blockchain. His eyes are red. His, like, single eye has been, like, tuned in forever. Homie, I love that one. That's my favorite out of all of them. However, what is there? 7 of them up there. That dude that's a moment. Player. Yeah, he's cool, man. He's been in the blockchain so long. He's just grinding teeth. So I'm gonna have to come up. I don't know. That's the guy right there.
So before we have the next person send up a request, that was a great impersonation. They are minting still at 0.05, and you can grab a talk off a secondary if you wish, if there's one that really speaks to you or resonates with you. And I think that's the awesome thing that I got from you, is like you vibe with the talk. Like, there's a talk for everybody, and I think that's cool, because like, weird is the new normal. And yeah, like, let's go. And you know what, I think maybe even a talk might spit bars, and I know he's probably gonna kill me, and hopefully he can come up. And I'm not just talking about visual, but rep. Come on up, guys. Like, don't be shy. Like, look, I subjected myself, and I kind of went out of my zone, and I embarrassed myself. And good thing this isn't a huge space, because, you know, that took some guts and courage. Once you find your zone, it's all good. It's all good. Just come on up. Flashy, yo, what's good? And we've got a whole bunch of other people. We got Dana Greenstein here. You know, a whole bunch of other people. Welcome to the room, Dan. You know, come on up, send a request. I mean, like, it's your opportunity to win. Rami, hopefully you can talk. What's good? Like, come on up and speak. You love to talk. Talk with the talks. Come on, you guys.
Hey, where can you throw up a pinned tweet of where they're minting at? Because I love all these pictures and stuff, but there isn't a link to the mint page.
Yeah, definitely, I'll do that. And that would be another thing when you're running spaces, promoting something, to have that. So I will get right on that.
Yes. Sometimes the teacher has to learn.
It, not me.
Well, visual, you didn't catch it either, so let's not even go there.
Hey, yeah, I'm only the co-host. Right, you know, it's like you're Batman. I'm Robin right now. Like, I got your back, like, but you got to lead the way, Batman.
Yo, Smokey, let's talk, FYI.
I love these guys, though. They're cool. So these are on ETH, then?
Yeah, they're on an Ethereum blockchain.
And so, I just don't know I don't know much about them. So these guys, are they? How many are in the collection?
Sorry, just give me a second. I believe there's 7,000 of in total. Let me just recheck, but I believe it's 7,000.
Yeah, I think it's it should be 77 if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong though. Hold on, I think somebody's trying to
That's
come
a good
on.
number.
Yeah.
Well, what I do know is there's less than 2,000 talks left. So I also pinned up there having a talkathon. So adopt a talk. They're an extremely creative, as you can say, it's claymation, very artistic, creative community and project. And I think that's what also connects us, because they, I'm not saying anything done on a computer doesn't take time, but these guys have taken the time and effort in every single little step when they do to make everything matter and count and be creative and do something wild and different that nobody's seen. And I don't know how many other talks or like projects are very similar like this. I haven't seen it, and we've seen a lot of stuff. You know how it moves in the NFT biz.
Yo. You guys hear me? What's going on, Bullish? What's up, Visual?
Yo.
Welcome.
What's up, family?
What's up, guy? What up, Smokey?
We've got Wake and Bake in the house.
Yeah, low key. I just wanted to say shout out to the Talks. Big up you guys for this show. Fuck with it heavy. Talks. I mean, I rock with them the long way. We definitely gave them an interview on our platform. If you guys want to go check that out, not to show, just to give more information about the project. We definitely support them 100%. We're trying to collab more in the future as well. Bright future ahead of them. Beautiful art. I can't say enough about that. And you guys too got a great work ethic. And the only art I've seen like the Talks, like I've said before, it reminds me of Wallace and Gromit. I believe that's the name of the cartoon. But super unique shit. I can't wait to see what's coming up.
Yo, Bullish, you ready for my talk voice? Just let me know whenever you're ready. I got the voice for you. Set up.
Go for it, man. I think Bullish
go,
might be
let's
taking a
go.
nap or something.
You are lucky you're in Chicago. That's all.
No,
I'm
y'all
gonna
not
say.
ready for this. Y'all not ready for this. So just look at my PFP.
No,
Everybody
which
look
one?
at
Which one are you choosing? Which one are you choosing?
Does
first
it
before
have
you
to
do
be
the
the one at the top? It has to be one of those, or can it be
Your
my
talk? I don't care. Let's go.
It could be mine?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Alright, so this is me right here. Alright, y'all ready?
Yo, that's probably the best fucking, anything I've ever heard ever. Probably the best sound I've ever heard in Spaces.
Oh my kids, stop laughing.
Yeah, you gotta peep my PFP though. That's how he talks, bro. That's him.
Yo, dude is bugged out, bro. Is he good?
I dare you to go to a drive.
He stars over his head, bro. He's messed up, bro. He's
Drive through and order your food like that.
Definitely on some space drugs.
Because that homie's trying to scream through that Lego that's stuck over his mouth. I just had to click on that, dude. I'm like, what is going on? I was like, that's why he's screaming like that. I said, he can't even say anything because his mouth is covered. Done took a Lego, shoved it right into his face, poor guy.
Facts, bro.
What are some of these
All
do's
right,
and don'ts to the
that was
Spaces,
awesome.
though, man? Oh, yeah, my bad.
No, talk away, please.
Oh, no, I was asking, what are some of these do's and don'ts of these Spaces?
Oh, really? Yeah. So the do's and don'ts we're pretty free for all, but in general, Spaces 101 is try not to interrupt. In general, sometimes it's hard because you can't see when the person stopped talking. We're not like in a Zoom call type of thing. So I mean, in general, we in a larger space or a space that's having great conversations back and forth, just put up your hand, send up a request if you want to say something. Again, there have been spaces that in the larger spaces that you actually have to DM somebody to say, listen, I've been here, hello. Some people don't have their DMs open. That makes it slightly challenging. So what I do is just annoy the crap at them, and I just throw up emojis and hearts. It might help their algorithm like ever so slightly, but it's like saying SOS, standing up the flare, like, you know, hey, 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 like annoy the crap out of them. Like they can see it, right? Hopefully they're looking at their screen. Sometimes I have to look away because the last space that I have a visual, he had me laughing so hard that I couldn't look at the screen anymore, because every time I see him fake laughing, I know him so well that the laugh is like resonating with the emoji. So that would be a don't visual. Don't keep throwing up the laughing emoji so the host can actually do what she needs to do. See that? There we go again. So that would be a don't. Don't keep laughing. But no, all round, we've got different things. I mean, we've got things to respect people's time zones, respect other people, treat people how you like to be treated, pros and cons on recorded this space versus that. I think also when you come into a space, I think that this is a good thing to talk about right now is showcasing how to segue into the showcase. Number one, to always try to thank the host or thank you for, you know, this opportunity. Be grateful, be happy. You never know, again, who's watching, who's coming in, listening. Um, you know, you go into certain spaces, and this is not just about hosting. This is the spaces that you're going to and experiencing. And I've been in a lot of spaces, and it's just like you hear somebody's like, they're so happy to get up, maybe that they just like saying, oh, you know what, I need to talk about this now, like, hey, and they forget to talk about themselves. They forget to thank the host or the people that are up there. I will say that personally myself, don't force people to retweet the room if they don't want to retweet it to get up to speak. I think that's very it's you're feeling forced to do that, and I've noticed this trend going. This is not how you want to build your room and community. It should be more natural, not forceful. And I don't like that you feel obligated to do this to be able to get up to speak. And then you're waiting, and that's still no guarantee that you're going to be able to get up and speak. So I think it's almost like trickery, like they wave the carrot. Also with the giveaways, this is another thing, and I just said, sorry, my apologies. If you're doing giveaways, try to make sure that you space them out. If you have like a 2-hour space, try to do it every 20 to 30 minutes, no longer than that, because everybody has different time that they spend in the space, and try to keep them involved. Don't dangle that carrot to the end and force people to come in, and they're popping in and out. If you have a giveaway, like my spaces are not like huge yet, so I don't need like 5 to 6 giveaways. I'm not running it for hours and hours on end, which I've seen some spaces go on way too long. I would say 2 hours is a good time for a space in general, and if it's really good, maybe squeeze another 10-15 minutes out of it, but let them know that really and truly we love that you're enjoying it, but we want you to come back. You can't live in the space because, you know, we all got to sleep at some point, right? So this is the key thing about that. And basically I'm done on that for a second.
Yeah, and just to go off of that, so Rami, you were asking about the do's and don'ts. We were actually like digging deep into it earlier on before you guys came in here actually. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that Bullish covered, you know, we pretty much were discussing that, and just we also talked about tone, how people are speaking in a space, especially as host, the way that you're kind of moving along. Like it's cool when people kind of sense that camaraderie between hosts, like if there's some joking around and things like that, because obviously if that's the homie, then that's the homie, and you want, you know, you don't want to be fake and like not show that. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of times you got to be kind of conscious of that, you know, that doesn't get carried away sometimes, because people might tend to not want to listen in if it's too like playful at times, especially if your focus is something that's educational. You want to make sure that people are listening in, and you have that tone set, not only as far as your actual voice, your tone, because people want to hear somebody that's nice and clear and concise with the way that they're presenting themselves, but also the tone of the room, the way things are moving around. And I was also mentioning earlier, like, you got to be conscious of speakers trying to come up. You don't want people waiting to come up and speak. And also, if somebody's been in the room sitting waiting to speak, then call them out, say, hey, you've been waiting around for a while, come up and speak. And also, if somebody wants to speak and they have their hand up, like, be conscious of that. And it's kind of hard sometimes when you're going along, you're talking, you're bringing up a subject, or you're asking a question to somebody else, if you're kind of doing an interview type of a space or whatever it may be. It's hard to keep track of all that, but you have to. I think it's really important in order to run a proper space and something that people are going to want to come back to over and over again. I think it's important to be conscious of all those things and just stay mindful of the way you're moving around in the space.
I 100% agree. I think creating dialogue, being receptive, being open to learning, I think all that is a key factor in being a good host. Like you said, paying attention to the listeners, of course, they're always first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big facts. And right now that you mentioned that, something that we talked about earlier too, is I feel like if your room has 2 people or if your room has 200 people, you should carry yourself the same way, because you shouldn't like, not act like it's not important. You shouldn't act like it's not important if there's only a few people in your room, as opposed to, just switching up the mood if you're starting to see people pour in. Because I think regardless of how you're perceiving it, no matter if it's 1 or 2 people, those people are there for a reason, and they're listening to you, and they either want to learn something or they just want to be part of what you're discussing, and they want to vibe with you. So you have to be able to respect the fact that those people are sitting in your room and they're spending time with you. So you got to be very conscious of that. And on that note, everybody that's in the room listening to us, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for spending your time with us, and whether you're here to learn or just vibe with us, or your people that are following us already and rocking with us, we truly appreciate you guys being here. And make sure that you guys, if you're not already following me and Bullish, please do. Make sure that you stay in tune with us and the spaces that we're doing all the time. Next month, what I'm personally doing with my spaces, I'm doing one every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. And my focus all of next month is going to be music NFTs. I'm a music artist, and I came into this space to collect and learn before I even thought of doing anything. And that's what I've been doing the last few months, coming up on a year of just learning and soaking everything up and just giving people value. That was really important to me before I even thought about doing anything. And what I want to do next month is I'm going to release my first music NFT. But while I'm doing that, I'm going to host spaces all month long with other artists that have either already released music NFTs or that are thinking about releasing music NFTs, but they've been in the industry for a while and they have no idea how to do it. So I'm doing that to showcase those artists that are already experienced, and also to bring in and onboard those artists that are not, and help them learn from each other. And on top of that, we're also bringing in different platforms in the space that are either places where you could mint NFTs or places where you could brand your NFTs or your brand in general, and bringing them into the spaces with us too, to help people understand different ways that they could kind of move around the space and the different resources that they offer. So definitely would love to have you guys in tune with that. And like I said, it's going to be every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Central, all through the month of May. And tomorrow, for anybody that wants to learn about any tech questions, whether it's developing, coding, creating NFTs, whatever it may be, I have a space with all developers, coders, tech people in the space that are going to be there to answer all your questions. And one of my guests, if you guys aren't already familiar, is an 11-year-old. His name is William. He's from Thailand. He coded, developed, and created the art for his own sold out project. This kid is amazing. Like, I've learned so much from him. And he's going to be one of our guest speakers, along with Metaverse Josh and also Pac-Man. And they're awesome people that I've been learning a lot from over the last few months. They're the type of guys that I've been able to DM or hop into spaces or phone calls and Zooms and just learn a ton from them. So I'm very excited to have those 3 guys in my space tomorrow, and I'm hoping that you guys come out to them. It's actually pinned to the top, so definitely stay in tune with that. But yep, what's good, Bullish?
So Rami, I thought you were going to come up and do a voice with the talks.
Nah, I came up to give appreciation to you guys and the talks in
No, I
general.
love it, but come on.
Hey, big facts though. What's good, Rami? You know what? I kind of
Come
feel
on.
like if you're gonna speak at all right now in this moment, like
Damn.
we need that voice,
Sheesh,
man.
bro.
We need
I
that,
don't.
Rom. We needed it. Let's go.
Let's
I
go.
mean,
Nobody really
TikTok.
knows you like that.
that's, I mean, I don't like to build anticipation for like no good punches, but I really don't have a good voice. I mean,
Listen, plug your nose with your fingers and make a voice. It's really easy.
hey, yo, Bullish. I got my nose plug. What's good? Yo, pull up. That's the best. That's the best y'all get, man. I'm cringing. I'm gonna keep it a set. I'm cringing, bro. Real
This
talk.
man is great. Yo,
like
Robbie,
physically.
salute for that, man. He took one for the team right there.
He did. Yo, visual. Well, bro, we definitely gonna pull up on those spaces though too, especially me and Rami with that music NFT thing, cause like we have been in the music space ourselves for a while. We've been making music with each other for a while, and
Big
we
facts.
actually are about to make a new like EP this coming month with our old group. We was thinking about making an NFT out of it as well, so that would be fucking dope, like to learn how to do all of that together. Like, man, yes, so
That's what's up, man. That's dope. Yeah, definitely hop in, man. Like I said, tomorrow is it's kind of like it's not really the kickoff to the music portion, but tomorrow I feel like it's an important one because I think even as a collector, right? Like I think it's kind of important to know how a lot of this stuff functions, man, because when I first got into the space, I don't want to say I was ignorant to all of it, but there's just so much that goes on behind, a contract and kind of behind the scenes. Like we just look at it like we connect our wallet, we pay our ETH and we get our NFT. That's the simple way of looking at it. But there's so much more that goes on. And especially when you're looking at these projects that have utility behind them, that have something simple like a whitelist behind them, like there's a lot that needs to go into that contract. And also if there's different people in the project and there's different splits going on, from your founder to your artist to your developer to team members, and those payouts are split out differently in the contract, and I think all those things are important. So anybody is able to hop into those, and like I said, all the music ones next month, man, I'd love to have you guys in there, listen in, and definitely bring people out, because I think a lot of the people that we're gonna have on there, they're gonna bring a lot of value, man. And we have some pretty dope lineups, man. I'm actually gonna put out some information on who's gonna be on those spaces probably in the next day or two. So definitely look out for that. I definitely want you guys to pop in, man, and let people know about it.
All right, so I'm just going to reset the room really quick. Thank you for everybody who came in. So what we're actually doing is talking about do's and don'ts for what to do in spaces, number one. Number two, we're giving away some talk. So what you have to do, or what you should do, is if you're enjoying the room, retweet it. Come up, pick a talk. It can be your talk if you have a talk. If you don't have a talk, go up to the top. There's a couple of them. I've done a voice already. I might have to do another voice because you know what? I'm feeling a little inspired, and I'm not going to plug my nose. But I will try to encourage more people to come up and partake in this great opportunity to get a talk. They are worth, at the moment, mint price 0.05 ETH. So you don't have to buy one. You can actually win one. This is and I will say it slowly and nicely in the perfect tone, opportunity to fill your wallet with a talk. Then you can rock your talk, whip your talk wherever you want to whip it out. You can show your talk. You can walk with your talk. You can talk to your talk. So if you haven't taken a look, you cannot unsee it once you've looked at these talks. They will be embedded in your brain. They are from outer space. They came in a spaceship. They came down to talk to you, actually. And right now, I'm going to actually take a talk, and I actually am digging the one with the cat in the fishbowl, okay? So bear with me. I'm not going to plug my nose. And then we'll get right to the request to come up and try to win the talk. I'm
So
not playing for the
Bullish,
talk. I'm just gonna embarrass myself because I love doing that. Obviously, in recorded spaces and visual. Do not make
really,
an NFT out of this
r-
because I will
really
hurt you
quick.
bad.
Oh yeah, I'm recording this, so that we're definitely making this an NFT. But real quick, before you go into your much anticipated impression of a talk, just so everybody's in the room, I think we got like one small rule for the free talk, right? I mean, they can't be a talk holder, right?
Ideally, they should not be a talk holder because we want people to hold a talk.
Yeah, we
If you
want to
don't
give
have a
it away
talk
to
already,
somebody new.
we want to
So
give the
Smokey man,
opportunity.
we
Yes,
apologize,
definitely.
bro.
That was
We
good though,
really
Smokey.
we really loved your.
We're gonna hire you for some voice.
Nah,
I
I
can't
did
do
that.
that
I
noise
did that for
without
the love,
laughing.
man. I did that for
That's
the
what I'm talking about. He did that for the love. Love it, love it. But yeah, I mean, we 100% wanna give it to somebody who's not already a holder. You know, we know a lot of people that are holders already. Obviously, ourselves, we're holders as well. But earlier, if you guys missed it, we would just really rock with the community from the founder to and artists to everybody on this team and everything that they got going on. We highly respect what they got going on, and we definitely are behind them 100%. And what we want to do is just really spread that out to people that might not know about the project. So that's definitely who we gonna get those out to, and we are gonna wrap up this space very soon. So I mean, I know we had Jameson in there, Rami popped in, and he gave us his wonderful rendition of a talk, and I think we got time for, what do you think, Bullish? I think maybe 2, maybe 3 more if we're able to get them to come up.
Yeah, definitely 2 or 3 more. So while I'm doing my beautiful rendition of the cat and the fishbowl, please put your hand up, request, and yeah, I hope everybody has that great opportunity to want to talk. And now here comes the fishbowl. Why am I doing this? I love it. I love it. I love them. Visual, stop laughing. Okay, so I'll do a
MMA
woman's voice because I've done a guy's voice.
I don't know how you
So, oh my god, like, how on earth did I get in this bowl? Like, first I had, like, a sip of water, and then I, like, oh my god, like, I fell right the fuck in the bowl. Please tell somebody I'm in the bowl. Don't fucking lick me again, cat. I didn't appreciate that, but I need some help. I'm stuck in this motherfucking bowl, and it's tight as fuck. Please, 911. I am stuck like a motherfucker.
Yo, I'm so happy these are recorded, Bullish. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna hang this over your head for so long. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yo, you're gonna have to make some drops out of these, bro.
Bruh, the new intro to her show. What you mean? That's 100% the new intro to her show right there. She just did it. You guys heard it live, and it's gonna be an NFT. I'm definitely gonna be the first bid on the NFT of Bullish making a talk impression. I'm minting that thing.
So we got the MMA food. Come on up. Come on up.
What's up, MMA fool?
Yo, what up? I'm about to spit some sick bars. The MMA food, the bilingual talk. Yeah, buddy. El que sube para arriba, no escupe saliva, sino que sangre. Me pego el hambre, mi vida está colgando de un alambre. Viviendo pobre nunca más, jamás. Rodeado sin salida como la casa le de acá atrás. Un celoso enemigo, tanto más que un pájaro. Bájalo, desármalo, cuerpo siempre rájalo. Secuestramos a los que mueven la piratería, los thugs. Secuestrando, haciendo daños que son extraños. Los mexicanos los dejo abiertos como libro. Los dejo viendo estrella como la bandera de Estados Unidos. ¡Ah! What up, boo? Arriba! Just Cozy Rockets in the meta. Fuck. This is wild, man. You guys are wilding out, bro. This is amazing. I love it, bro.
I love this, man. Yo, hey, that was low-key fire, though, my dude. That was low-key. You got some bars. Your talk impression had bars right there, bro.
Word MMA, ese tigre estaba improvisando.
Vamos,
that was
vamos, vamos.
fire, yo.
Oh, fuck, I'm sweating. Good shit.
That was awesome. I wasn't expecting that, man. And with that tone, you kept that tone the whole time. Like, that was fucking fire.
I was trying not to think about you right now with what you did, dude. I'm like, fuck, I wasn't done laughing at that shit, and I'm like, fuck, really have to go after that?
Good shit.
All right, so we got
Thank you.
yeah,
Looking
100%,
at
dude.
this, don't worry.
What do we got?
We got the winners coming up shortly.
And we got time for two more. I want to say. I think we got Joanna. Joanna, what's up?
Hello? I found this phone outside of Applebee's. It's disgusting. It's full of clay, and I need to go back to outer space. If Scribbles finds this out, he would be upset because I gave him enough clay to pay next month's bill, and I said goodbye because I don't need him to be a piece of clay stool in my life. I want to say thank you for the space and that time, and also if I can say one thing tonight for you to hold in your heart and take it with you every day, that you have one dark cloud over your head, and say, this is the one thing that Scribble said to me. He said to me, he said, tell people what I have said today. Thank you.
Yo,
What?
Legendary.
I'm dead.
Legendary.
y'all are wild, man. I love y'all, man. For real, y'all are wild as hell. Oh my god.
Are we
Bullish.
doing one more visual? I don't know. You let me know.
I think that's everybody though, because I don't see nobody else coming up, and we gotta pick somebody.
I have a winner. You choose a winner. I choose a winner. You choose a winner. I already know who my winner is, so I'm good. Like,
We got two to give away.
we have two, so you choose one. I choose one. I already know who got it, so you choose your winner. I personally, anybody who can spit bars like that in that voice, for me, the MMA food, you got it. You got it. You won from me because, you know what, not only you kept in character, you know, you've been in two of the spaces as well, but it's not just because of that. I've never heard anybody spit bars like that in a voice and in Spanish. Like, hands down, you got it.
Hell yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
no problem. I hope
you
you're
guys-
rocking your talk.
Oh, I can't wait. Rock out with my
So you
talk
got your
out.
gangster Kong. I'm a gangster
Oh
Kong
no,
girl
it's
to
getting
myself.
replaced. It's getting
Oh,
replaced
whoa,
already.
whoa, hey now, mucho
No, just for
caliente.
the profile pic, you know.
Let's
I'm
go.
so excited right now to be part of the talk family. Thank you so much, Bullish, Visual, everyone in
If
here.
you're NFT NYC, let's go. Let's meet up. Like, come to the talk. And that's another thing about having a talk. It does have multiple different types of utilities. You do get free airdrops. You also have great community building. NFT NYC, when they do in real life events, you obviously get into their events with just holding a talk. So for 0.05 ETH, that's like a drop in the bucket. That's like getting VIP treatment. Like in NFT NYC, they're gonna have like open bar. That for some, you can even drink all. No, don't drink all that much for 0.05, but you still got to get to NFT NYC. So yeah, but all round, definitely comes through because you know what, great community once again, and visual. Who's your winner?
Yo, yes. So I'm gonna go. I got my winner. I think I like what he did early on. He came in earlier on and was one of the first people that stepped up and decided to get a little crazy with us. So I'm gonna pick Jameson. You are the winner, sir. You get a talk. You get a talk. You get a talk.
Congratulations.
I was gonna say, I know I won by default because Smokey definitely smoked me, but I appreciate that visual. I'll take my win by default. I like these talks, and they are definitely they're trippy, bro. I like them. They're cool.
I want to say that I thought exactly.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
Wow. You know, honestly, I don't know how anybody, like, I commend anybody who can keep in character for a very long time. I can't keep a straight face. If I think something's funny, I'm laughing. I cannot stay in character. I would definitely be fired from any job. Like, you know, there'd be multiple takes, especially if I have to be serious when it's a funny situation. Epic fail for me. But thank you everybody for definitely coming out. The llamas, again, you came in the baby herd. You guys definitely always there. Mad rabbits, even though I am not a holder as of yet. I appreciate every community that came out. Again, just learning. If you can just even take away something from any of our spaces is great. We have Wake and Bake on Saturdays, 11 a.m. Very great space. I love promoting them because they have great guests, great speakers, great vibes. We've got visuals space tomorrow night. Visual, you want to touch upon that one, and then I'll let you close up the space.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely get in tune with Wake and Bake. Their show is Saturday mornings, right, Bullish? Is that right? Correct, Rami?
Saturdays at 11. Yeah.
Saturdays 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys got it right.
There you go. Saturday mornings, 11 a.m. Let's do that. So definitely get in tune with them. Tomorrow night, like I said, I have the devs conversation, 7 p.m. Central Time. Got 3 awesome developers, coders, and they'll be able to answer all your technical questions. We'll talk about all the tech stuff that people are either afraid to ask questions about or they're just not informed enough about. So we're definitely going to bring that up. And all of May is going to be Music NFT Month for IC Web 3. That's where we're going to be bringing for everybody. We're going to have different artists and different platforms that are going to educate on, the Web3 space, how to get involved, different experiences from artists and different mistakes that they've made, things that they've learned, and just some insight to get everybody, prepped for either a release or to get their mind right for something that they want to do, in the future. So definitely very excited about that. And on that note, we appreciate y'all being here with us, rocking with us. Make sure you stay in tune. Bullish, Visual, IC Web 3. Until next time, peace, blessings, hundreds of lessons.